Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video called The Don'ts of Visiting Stockholm, which is good. We don't want to offend any Swedish people. So let's check it out and comment, like, and subscribe.
Hey there, fellow travelers, Mark here with Walter's World. Today we're here in Stockholm, Sweden, and today we're going to give you some of the don'ts that you should know when you do come here to Stockholm, because this is a beautiful city with the archipelago islands out there and the museums and the people. My gosh, that might be the most beautiful part of coming here. But there are some things you need to know so you don't make mistakes when you are here. And I think one of the don'ts I have for you is just don't take out money from the ATM when you fly in, because honestly, there's absolutely no reason for you to have Swedish crowns when you are here. You don't need cash. You can pay with credit card literally everywhere. It is insane. Like, there's places that don't even take cash. You're like, cash? No, I don't want that. We need card. Like, give me a tap card. Give me a chip card. Give me something else. Use the Swift thing. Use your thing on your phone.
Yeah.
But cash, you don't need to do it. So don't even bother taking it out. Save yourself the time and money. And another thing you don't need to worry about is really knowing any Swedish, because the people here speak English so well, you don't have to worry about trying to study up before you go to have any conversation or to order your food, because the people speak English super well. But don't get me wrong, if you can learn how to say like "tack," which is thank you, they will appreciate it. And if you are here learning Swedish, I'll tell you right now, you'll practice with them and they'll literally just switch straight to English, going, it's just easier if we do English. But the thing is, they're good English. Don't be surprised if you don't get to hear it too often, because the locals here, they kind of keep to themselves. They're kind of a bit reserved, not like crazy reserved, but they just don't tend to talk to strangers much. I mean, I think they really had a really good presentation on stranger danger in school when they were kids here, because they don't really talk much to people that they don't know. Now, I'll say this. Once you get them talking, they'll talk a lot and they'll be super friendly and super helpful. I mean, this is a big city and the people are super cool when you talk to them. But the thing is, getting them to talk,
that's the hard part.
Don't expect that to happen too soon. Now, a bit of a...
I'm wondering, like, they won't talk to you, but if you talk to them, will they reply? That's the actual question.
Scheduling don't I have you here in Stockholm is, if you can avoid it, maybe don't come in October, November, December, January, February, March.
It's winter.
Yeah, those 6 months. Why? Because it's cold, it's dark, it's rainy, it's snowy, it's depressing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, when you get out and it's like, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the wintertime and it's dark, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of depressing. It's not very fun. Like, I'm not going to lie to you about it. Like, that's one of those big things I say. That's why I want to say this is don't pass up coming in the summer, because it's depressing and dark and unloving as it is here in the wintertime. It is fantastic in the summer. The parks come alive. Like, everybody's eating dinner outside.
Everyone's happy.
Everyone's at the bars. They're getting in the beer gardens. They're having a good time with their friends. They're having fika outside. I mean, it's just so much fun in the summer. Midsummer, oh my God, don't miss that.
I want to go so bad.
I mean, that is a fantastic time, but the difference between the winter and the summer when you're here is insane. So try not to come in the in the winter time. Come in the summer. You don't want to miss that out. All the festivals and stuff going on. It's just a fun time. Like, I actually brought students here and taught here in the summer one year. It was just an experience you wouldn't want to miss. Okay, because it's so much better. All right. Now, I will say this. Don't worry if you do come in the wintertime, because there are so many museums you can come and see when you're here. Like, yes, there is an ABBA museum. You can see that. Modern Art Museum that you can go see. The National Museum, the Swedish History Museum. I mean, it's like museum after museum after museum. I mean, it's the capital. They have so much stuff here, so much history, so much art.
I would expect so.
You can even go to the Fotografiska. I know I'm messing up my Swedish. Remember, I could say tack,
museum?
that's about it. But there's like photography museum that's here. I mean, you can go out to the palace, the Drottningholm Palace, which is it's a little bit out of town. You can see that if you want to see the palace there. The Royal Palace here, which I'll talk about in a bit. But there's so many museums. The Medieval Museum that's underneath the Royal Palace. I mean, Skansen, the outdoor museum. I mean, there's so much to do, though I don't think the Skansen Museum would be good in the wintertime. But I will say there's so many museums and activities that you can do when it is winter that you can come here for a great weekend break in the winter too. So don't be scared if you go, Mark, I can only go in January. It's okay. You'll still have a fun time with all the things going on. I mean, there's even the Nobel Prize Museum you can see when you're here and you're walking around. You don't want to go into stuff, even in bad weather, seeing the beautiful buildings here.
Yes.
You can't beat it here in Stockholm. And this place is just gorgeous.
It is
stuff to do, good weather and bad weather, still worth coming to see. Though in all honesty, the Nobel Prize Museum is a bit underwhelming. Sorry, can't lie.
Yeah, like what I just said, like what do they have there? Like the medals? I don't know. It seems a little, I don't know.
The thing is though, if you can come in the summer, one of the things I really recommend is don't skip out on going and exploring the islands, the archipelago that's here, and even just taking the ferries around or taking a boat trip or a sailing trip, going out and exploring, like going to like jump in the water or just sail it around, just enjoying the water that's here, because the city is built on all these different islands, so you can go out to different
super
islands.
nice.
Some you can walk to, some you ferry to, but honestly, it's one of those things you're like, wow, the nature here is just gorgeous, and how the city kind of,
incredible.
the canals and everything kind of work together, and all the beautiful pictures you get from the, from the bridges and everywhere. I mean, it's just a fantastic experience. But let's be honest. You're coming to Stockholm because you want to see the postcard shots, right? You want to see the old town and the royal palace. Yes, I mean, when you go to Gamlestan, the old town, I mean, it is it's
so where
gorgeous.
the royals live?
Like, you see the colored buildings lined up. You see all the things like, wow, that's beautiful. You tour the royal palace, like, this is super cool. You see the shops when you're walking along the streets, the cobbled streets. I mean, it's gorgeous. Like, you can't not say Stockholm isn't gorgeous, especially the old town. It's fantastic. And the thing is, Old Town is beautiful and going through there, but honestly, there's pedestrian streets, great shopping, all kinds of stuff you can do. But my two favorite museums, and ones I have specific don'ts for you to not miss out on, one is don't skip out on going to Skansen. That is the outdoor museum, the open air museum that has buildings from the past. You learn about, Swedish history and, just, like, how things were done back in the day. The bakery guy was hilarious. I mean, there's so many great experiences you can have when you're here. But that Skansen is one of those things. It's an outdoor activity that I really, really recommend you take in and do.
I'm sold.
If you're in the spring and summertime, definitely do it. Other times, I don't know. I don't know if you can.
I would go there.
You should. But that's one. Skansen's actually a really fun thing, because when you come by, they have all these kind of workshops, so you can see how the goldsmith worked and how the bakers worked. They bake bread.
Oh my god, I want to go so badly.
It's really cool to kind of take in, and they have all kinds of different things you can see when you're here, so it is really nice to do. If you got kids or you're an older kid, you want to go and see things, it's actually kind of a fun thing. Kind of takes me back to the 5th grade field trips kind of stuff you do, but it is well worth it. There are actually places you can eat here as well, so you want some traditional Swedish food, you have that too. So so Skansen, don't miss out on it.
What if I'm an adult?
I have for you in Stockholm. If you're going to be taking the escalator down to get to the metro, subway, stand on the right. People run on the left. It's the only time you might see an upset Swede.
You're always on the right.
Block their path down the escalator to the metro here in Stockholm. Another thing I want you to know is don't think that the Vasa ship was as famous and important as awesome as its museum is. Because the Vasa is this huge warship that literally sank on its maiden voyage. Like, didn't get out of the harbor, just sank. But it's so famous because they found it and brought it up. It was in great condition. They built a museum for it. And honestly, it is one of the best museums around. Like, how well it's done. I highly recommend you go there. I mean, I've been here, I don't know, like 6 times, and I've gone all 6 times.
Oh my god,
now let's get to some of our kind of background information you need to know. One is about the airport. I want to tell you this. Don't forget to check and see which airport you're going to, because there's multiple airports when you're flying in here.
It's going to be a case of, like, you're going to JFK or LaGuardia, and you're mistaken.
Probably you're going to fly into Arlanda, which is the main airport, if I would say, if you're going to be coming in here. One thing I'll say for any of the airports, don't take the taxi. And the taxis here are expensive in Stockholm, just giving you a heads up for that. But some of the airports are kind of far away, so it's going to be very costly. So, don't skip out on taking, like, the Arlanda Express from the airport in. Yes, it's pricier than the bus, but it's cheaper than the taxi. But it's 18 minutes, literally 18 minutes from the airport to the downtown train station, the central station. I mean, and it's comfortable, it's clean, you don't have to worry about anything. That's what's nice. And that's another thing I think I need to mention is you don't have to worry about your safety when you're here in Stockholm. Yes, there are issues. Late night, wow, shocking. There's fights and stuff that happen late night, and people are drinking on the weekends. Shocking, right? But in general, you don't have to worry too much. Yes, you have to use your usual common traveler sense, like watch out for pickpockets, don't fall for these things, and don't leave your stuff out. But in general, this is a really safe city, so you don't have to worry about enjoying yourself when you're here. And though I just said don't expect it to be cheap, I want you to know this. Don't think that Stockholm is going to be too expensive for you to visit. It's not that bad. I mean, if I compare it to major cities in the U.S., it's like the same price. I mean, it's significantly cheaper than going to London. So honestly, I mean, though it's not going to be a cheap vacation, don't think it's too expensive to come. Stockholm is really worth it. And there's a lot of stuff you can do that's for free to go around and enjoy. So don't be scared off by the price, because really, it's not that bad. Now, another public transportation don't I have for you, and that is don't get too close to the people on the train or the bus or the tram or in the line
it would
or
be your
wherever,
personal space.
your metro, whatever possible public transportation there could be. Don't get near the people. Actually, don't get near the people anyway, because here in Sweden they like to have a nice bubble. Okay, they like their personal space.
Love
and
that.
If there's space open on a bus or on anything, you don't sit right next to somebody. You go to that open space. That's how it is.
Yeah.
I know that's like kind of unusual things everywhere, but here they really do like their space. And man, don't talk
like
to
a
the
social
people
rule.
on the public transportation either. They don't. I know, like for me, I like to say hi to people. Like, hey, how are you? How's a great day today? Oh, the weather sucks. Nope. Don't do small talk. Don't do it. Not on the buses, not on the metro, nothing, okay? No subway, nothing, okay? Just don't.
Like this.
But I will say there's one time you don't want to be antisocial when you are here, and that's if you go to fika. And fika, it's like a coffee break, but more. It's like a coffee break for your soul.
I thought it was going to be when you're drinking. Okay.
Like if I haven't seen my buddy for a while, hey, they want to have fika, and we know that, hey, we're going to go, we're going to talk, we're going to have some sweets, maybe have some of the cinnamon rolls. Yes,
Love that.
the cinnamon rolls, coffee, hot chocolate, whatever you want to drink. But it's one of these kind of chillax moments you have, and you don't want to pass that up because that's when you get a chance to really talk to people and they really open up. And you'd be surprised.
Okay.
Once you get to know the Swedes, they're pretty cool, and they'll invite you. Like that's what I've been invited to multiple people's homes here that I've met while I've been here. Okay.
Oh.
And it's nice because you get to have
the
this
Swedish
experience. You get
torture?
to talk to them, and it's something that we don't have that in the U.S. Like we might meet up with our buddy, but not like this, where it's much more of a in touch kind of break, kind of like a really resetting kind of thing. And some people just call it fika when you're at work and just take a little break off in the afternoon for an afternoon coffee break. But it does have like a different connotation than just a coffee break.
Okay.
Now, another public service announcement I have for you here in Stockholm: don't feed the seagulls. They suck. Just don't. Okay? That's all I gotta say. Don't feed the seagulls. That's about it. All right. Now, another thing I have for you is if you want to go to the clubs when you're here, don't expect the clubs to let you in all the time because, well, they got face control. And if you don't look like the part to be in the club, they're not going to let you in.
Oh,
but I said it wasn't really dangerous here. There is one danger I have to warn you about. Don't wander into the bike pass. There's lots of bikes here, and they're very, very bikey. So watch out for them. Now, probably the time you feel the least safe when you are here in Sweden might be when you actually are getting service, because here in Sweden, the customer is not king, and Stockholm is the capital of the customer is not king in Sweden. So just know that you might get a little bit indifferent service here. You're not really that important to them. I mean, you don't tip here anyway, so there's that as well. And that kind of impacts things. So don't expect over-the-top service. And also, don't expect it to be cheap. Stockholm is an expensive city to go to.
You just told me it wasn't that expensive.
Significantly better, but Stockholm, man, your wallet hurts every single day. But honestly, this is a fantastic city. I hope you don't miss out on it. Whether you're going to see the City Hall, whether you're going to the Royal Palace, the Old Town, going out the islands, enjoying it all, Stockholm's a fantastic city. I've been visiting here since the 90s, and I've loved it every time. So what are some of the don'ts you have for people, or maybe do's, for coming to Stockholm? Put it down in the comments below so we can help other travelers enjoy this beautiful city. And I'll say bye from here in Sweden.
Okay, yes, I definitely want to go to Sweden. The thing that makes me a little like, okay, what do you mean? Because he was like, no, it's not oh, never mind. Like, it's not that expensive. Like, you're thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be bankrupt. And then he was like, well, don't expect to be cheap either. It's like, okay, so which one is it? How expensive it is? I'm getting like maybe not all Sweden is like that incredibly expensive. It's sort of like around the middle, but Stockholm's gonna hurt your wallet. So it's like, okay, I'll spend just like one day over there and I'll like stay in the other sort of like nearby like towns and areas, but not specifically in Stockholm. But I do really like his tips. Like they seem like really great like tips in order to like navigate and have like good vacation without like offending anyone and still like having like a nice time. I think it's really funny. The whole like the Swedish are like very, I was gonna say antisocial, but I don't think that's the right word for it. They just have like a different type of culture. So it isn't like, oh, they're being antisocial on purpose. They don't want to talk to you. I think it could be seen as like maybe a little bit offensive if, I'm like, oh my God, like, how is it? Because I'm imagining like, if you're talking to them and they'll maybe like will not answer to you, Yeah, that's impolite, right? Like that's a little bit rude. But maybe like if they won't probably go out of their way to like talk to you. If you ask them something, or if you like try to make small talk, they'll probably like try to cut it down. Like they'll try to be like, you say like, oh, like I don't know, well, what a lovely, like, oh, it's super sunny outside, it's so nice. And but maybe people are gonna be like, yeah, like very politely just like go like the bare minimum in order not to be seen as rude, but they're not going to go out of their way to like try to talk to you like, oh yes, let's elaborate here, and be like, oh, what are your plans for today, whatever. Like they're not going to be like that. So it's like a little bit of a middle ground. But I do understand they're very like reserved people that I think can come across as like a little bit rude. But now that no, it's their culture. Like do not take it personal. So do not try to like strike a conversation when you're like on public transport or just out and about. Like do not, like what he said, like you're maybe trying to be like very like, oh, you're trying to make like small talk, or you're trying to say like, oh hi, like you enter a place and you're like, afternoon. Like that's a very like that's a very like nice way to like go around. But they're like, do not expect to be treated like that. But it's just like that's just how it is, and that's how they do it over there. But as for like the whole like museums, I think that was probably like my favorite part about this video. I think I want to go to the Saska. I cannot remember the name, but it was like I think the outdoors museum, like the one that had the old timey things, and they teach you how to make like the old bakery. And I think it was like a forgery or something. I don't know. I would love to go. He said like, oh, it's really good for kids, but it's like, okay, what if I'm an adult? Like, can I still go? Well, they allowed me to like go and do things, or just like, is it like little like the amusement parks where they have like a bear, like you need like a bare minimum height. And sometimes it's usually the minimum. You don't have like if you're like on top of the side, like you can't ride. So basically like the opposite of like, no, if you're like taller than, I don't know, like 5 feet, like no, you can't, it's for kids. But I would expect no, because this sounds so incredibly interesting. I would go there. Like I want to go so badly. It looks so good. And even if you don't get to like actually participate in the activities, I would love to go. Like, is it like a reenactment, and do they dress up in like the thing and all costumes, or no, they don't have to dress up. I don't really care, but I would love to know. I think it's like super interesting to see how people lived back in the day. So it's like, yes, I want to know. And the whole like I think it was the Vasa Museum. I find it so interesting that they sort of like build the museum around the ship. Like the ship is so important. They sort of like built the museum around it. Seems crazy, but he said like, no, it's really good, because seeing it like this, I think like I would love to go see the ship, because it looks incredible to like see up close, like all the details and all the things, like they're like carved in wood. I think it's wood, right? I don't know. I would love to see like the actual sort of like the boat, the ship itself, because it looks incredible, like all the detail and stuff. But he said like the museum itself is actually great. So I would actually, yes, it doesn't sound that high on my priority list, but now you're telling me, and I'm like, okay, I believe you. So I want to go. Yes. I think like some other like a very interesting thing that I found in the actual and also like the Nobel Prize like museum. I'm with him. I'm like, it doesn't sound that interesting. It's it's like, it's very interesting, but it doesn't sound that entertaining. It's like, it's a little underwhelming. Yes, because what am I gonna find there? Like, I don't know. Maybe there's just a way of like making this interesting. But again, this is super high on my priority list. Like, I think I would go to a photography museum before this, or the other museums before that one in particular. But the one thing that I was like, oh, this is like quite interesting. But maybe it ties in a little bit with the whole sort of like, they have like a very close bubble, and they do really pay a lot of attention to like personal space and stuff, and they're pretty like reserved people. That apparently like, if like in the clubs that they'll not you're like, do not expect to get in. Like they'll judge you a little bit of like, maybe you can get in or maybe you can't. But it's maybe like, oh, so they're like really exclusive about that. I think maybe like that was surprising to me. I think that maybe it ties in a little bit with that of like being so reserved, that they're gonna judge you. And sadly it is, it is the case. Like they're probably gonna judge you, and they're like, no, I'm sorry, you just don't cut it. So it's like, okay, well, tell me like, what should I do? Like dress differently? I don't know, like what should I do? But I find it very like, oh, okay, I didn't know it was the case, because usually when there are like clubs that are like that exclusive, it's like it's like particular kind of like places that are like that, but you're not expecting to see like every single like club to be, to have that sort of like it's not really like a policy, but it is a little bit of a policy. So that was like okay. And again, that the whole exclusiveness is the whole also like the whole attention like customers, and they don't really treat their customers that well. And it's like they don't really care probably, so you're not gonna be all caring about things like, oh my god, like you're not treating me correctly, like I I'm the customer and I'm always right. It's like no, and they don't really care because it's like talk to them, you're not gonna be like, hey, can I speak to your manager please? It's like, well, you can, but they're probably they're gonna be on my side, they're not gonna be on yours. So it is a little bit like, okay, well, are you expecting this, like, are you telling me this in order for me to like mentalize the whole thing about like, okay, I cannot complain about like the smallest of details, and not, again, like, do not be a Karen in general, because it's like, yes, okay, they're not used to like working things like that. Or is it like, if you're gonna be like, they're gonna treat you bad basically, so it's gonna be okay, sure, I won't complain, and you're warning me, hey, they're not gonna treat you that well. So would love to know, because I was like, okay, you're telling me again this in order for like Americans to know, or to understand, do not try to like make a fuss about it, like customer service is not that great. Or is it because no, the baseline is them being rude to you, so do not really like it's gonna be okay, they'll treat you terribly and you can't complain, and it's gonna be normal, and it's gonna be okay because they do things differently over there. So I don't know, would love to know. But that was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.